Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to the Commonwealth Women's Forum, where we'll be focusing on delivering a common future, transforming for gender equality. Now, as we focus on this over the next 2 days, let's really try to understand what drives transformation. It's all about shifts. And so I want to welcome us to be probing in our thinking, to be disruptive even in our thinking, to push the boundaries, because if we need transformation, we must be willing to look at the things we haven't done before. We must be willing to confront the uncomfortable and find new pathways for change. And so this is my appeal to us all. My name is Julie Gishuru. I'm a passionate Afro-optimist, and I'm the Chief Public Affairs and Communications Officer at the MasterCard Foundation. It's an honor to help MC the opening this morning. At the foundation, we're focused on ensuring that 30 million young Africans, through our Young Africa Work strategy, find dignified work by 2030, with a 70% focus on young women. And so we are on this journey. We are committed. We are listening. And my appeal to us all is, how do we walk together? How do we collaborate? Introduce yourself to the person next to you, and then purpose to walk the journey together. I'll give you a minute. Give you a minute to do that. Okay. Calling us back to order now. And I hope you will now continue the conversation during the break, and you will be able to find ways to work together or to learn from each other. So order, order, order in the house. That was some disruption, but let's get back now. Yesterday, I must say, the Youth Forum started off with a bang. And we heard from a young woman. She said, we need to move away from thinking that nothing for us without us. This is young women and young men. She said, we need to think nothing without us. And that was powerful. We all need to be seated at the table as we move forward. Let me recognize that we have a lot of men with us. You are our allies. We walk together with you, so let's just appreciate the men who join us and who champion this agenda with us. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a very, very warm welcome to the Right Honourable Patricia Scotland, Commonwealth Secretary General, to make welcome remarks. A big round of applause, please. In African style, this is what we do.
Well, that was quite a welcome. I can only say to you that you are looking extraordinarily beautiful. And I'm even talking about the men. So, Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, Commonwealth friends and colleagues, thank you for joining us in beautiful Kigali. Truly, it has been a long time coming. And I want to say to our honourable and wonderful First Lady of Rwanda. God bless you. Bless you for being the emblem of womanhood, of strength, of resilience, and showing so many what a good woman looks like. We knew today would come. It may have been a long time coming, but it's here now, led by the beautiful jewel that is Rwanda, the land of 1,000 hills, and also the land of 1,000 opportunities. This is the first CHOGM in Africa for more than a decade. And the first Commonwealth Women's Forum ever to be held on this wonderful continent. And I know we will have an empowering and fruitful discussion. And there can be no better host than Rwanda, with her amazing achievements as a champion of gender equality and women's empowerment. Women have been integral to the recovery and transformation of this nation in its journey from devastation to a powerhouse of development and progress. And I recognize Rwanda's leadership in building strong policy and legal frameworks, and I salute her achievements in ensuring women and girls are central to the development of the nation. But it's a sad reality that this level of political will and commitment to bring about achievements remains the exception and not the rule. This year, the Commonwealth Women's Forum, the theme is delivering a common future, transforming for gender equality. After 2 years of separation, now we are back together, and we can see more clearly than ever that what we have in common is more important than that which divides us. Every hour of every day, the Commonwealth is working together through the exchange of knowledge and information to transform the lives of millions of people, for women and girls, and for men and boys, of their families and communities too. When I became Secretary General in 2016, I pledged that we would put the wealth back into Commonwealth. But I know we were determined to put the common back into wealth. And that common demands that women should be at the table. Gender empowerment and inclusiveness are central to that mission, and I am so proud of what we have achieved together. Gender equality is at the very heart of our collective goals of social and economic development, democracy and peace building, and the critical to combating climate change. It speaks to the spirit of our Commonwealth connection and cooperation, and the way in which our nations collaborate with respect and understanding in our support for one another, our love for one another, and our efforts to transform the future of the girls and women across our 54 nations. This Women's Forum and this CHOGM is our opportunity to build on our Commonwealth advantage, our similar systems of democratic governance, of common law, of shared language, of compatible institutions to drive progress for which we all hunger and thirst. our ability to bring together leaders and ministers, civil society, and change makers is unique. As we meet in Kigali, we must be honest about the challenges we face, and we must be confident in our ability to seize the moment and build something better. I recognize the Honourable Professor Margaret Kobia, the Cabinet Secretary of the Ministry of Public Service, Gender and Youth in Kenya, and the Chair of the Commonwealth Women's Ministerial Action Group. Under my dear sister's leadership, Professor Kobia, we have worked together more closely and more effectively than ever. I think Professor Kobia puts a pin on anybody's chair if they want to sit down and not address women's issues. And we have put the disproportionate impact of the pandemic on women and girls in the Commonwealth front and center. The impact of vaccine inequality, the lived reality of economic insecurity, and the rising prevalence of gender-based violence. It is our profound responsibility to place women and girls at the heart of our response to the pandemic, not to further marginalize our sisters. And we must strive together to end domestic, workplace, societal, and political violence. We must strive together to place our sisters at the heart of our fight against the existential threat of climate change. And we must strive together to unleash the potential of all women and girls in the Commonwealth and enhance their opportunities to contribute to every sphere of social, economic, and political endeavor. This forum is a golden opportunity to take decisive steps towards these goals and build a safer, more secure, more prosperous future for all. And I'm further inspired by the sessions which will take place throughout this forum. And I'm inspired by this magnificent lineup of speakers from whose experience we can all draw hope and confidence. They, and each of you, are the living, breathing example of what we mean by delivering a common future and empowering future for all women and girls. And I want to thank everyone who has made the effort to travel to Kigali for this event. And I want to thank our hosts for this magnificent hospitality. I've been listening, Honourable Lady, to everyone gasping, going, "It's so beautiful, it's so clean." How many of you said, "It's better than Switzerland"? So, coming together face to face is precious. What we all bring and what we take away is of huge value and real importance. So please bring your best, because more than 1 billion women and girls across the Commonwealth are counting on you. I wish you the best for rich and fruitful discussion, safe in the knowledge that you will give everything you have to ensure that our best days lie ahead. But I want to hear the voices of the women. I'm going to ask you to do 2 things. Firstly, I want all the women to stand up. And I want you to look at each other. And I want you to acknowledge the following and say with me to each other, you are beautiful. You are powerful. I can't hear you. You are powerful. There is nothing you cannot do. You are going to change the world. And our girls are going to celebrate you. And I want all the men to stand up. And you're going to have to make a lot of noise now, because I want you to celebrate the women. And ladies, we're now going to sit down and say to them, you are beautiful. I can't hear you, ladies. You are special. Thank you for walking with me. And thank you for loving our girls and our boys. You are the example we will follow. You are our allies. And ladies, let's give them a clap. So, we're partners here today. What we do matters. What we say matters. And when we leave Kigali, the world will know that we were here. So may God bless you.
Thank you so much. Gentlemen, yes, you can take your seats. How inspiring. Thank you very, very much. You know, so powerful. It's important to put the common back into the wealth. Collaboration with respect and understanding is key. And let's take this opportunity presented by the Commonwealth to really build and drive progress, right? At this point, it's my real great pleasure to welcome two young women to come up here and perform for us. Esther is going to perform the inanga, which is a traditional instrument, and in Rwanda it is often played by men, but today a young woman plays it. And coming up as well is Angel, and Angel has a poem she's going to recite for us. I am a woman, I am human. Can we give them a huge round of applause? Thank you.
I will be as fearless as I can be, reach as far as I can reach, and shine as bright as they can see. See, I no longer want to be defined by my strength. I know that I am strong, but that is but a piece of me. Sometimes I do not want to smile, and sometimes I cry, but most times I get tired of explaining why my existence as a woman matters. I sigh, because I am more than they can make of me. I am woman. I am human. I should not have to fight for my own body. I should not have to explain why it was not my fault. I should not have to explain the decisions I make. And no, I will not be silenced, because I am here to reclaim what is rightfully mine. My humanity, my time on this earth is precious, so I will not be held back. You say because I am a flower, I must unfold as you please, as you pluck at my petals and suck out all of my juices. I am left with nothing but the roots that keep me in place. But it is safe to say that I was not put here to be resilient, yet I am, and I always will be. No, I was put here to live and be brilliant and be whoever I want to be. I was put here to hold my sisters close, to pull them up and push them forward, because we are all we have. And together we can create and take any path. Together we can break cycles as our ancestors have done in the past. See, as I'm flowing through the universe, planets surrounding me, I am a river full of diamonds. I am an entity. It begins and ends with me. I am my own light, you see. I shine from within with curves to infinity and beyond their understanding, standing tall in all of my glory. I will write my own stories. Stories of triumph. Stories where our daughters will blossom as they please, no longer singing songs of protest, but rather songs of victory and glee. See, I am woman. I am human. I will decide what future I deserve, and I will be heard. I will be heard. So hear me. Hear me. You are enough. Look at the person next to you and tell them they are enough. We are enough. So as we work towards transforming for gender, as we work towards delivering a common future, we will be as fearless as we can be, reach as far as we can reach, and shine as bright as they can see. Thank you. Okay.
Wow, wow, mesmerizing. Ladies, can I just ask, can you come stand on the stage for a moment? Just stand on the stage. Thank you. Truly beautiful. Can we stand up and give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for a great, great performance. Thank you, thank you. Do you have shivers? I have shivers. That was so powerful. Wow. I will be heard. I will be heard. And that's what we have to do, is make sure that all these voices can be heard. It's critical. Ladies and gentlemen, there's been a slight change in the program, and so now we move straight to hear opening remarks from our guest speaker. We are really honored to have with us Her Excellency Jeannette Kagame, the First Lady of Rwanda. And allow us just for a moment to give our thanks to Rwanda for being the host of this event, for all the work and effort that has gone into pulling all of this together. Also want to recognize the Commonwealth Secretariat for the incredible work done. And with that, let's just give a warm welcome. We'll ululate again, let's do it, as the First Lady comes up.
Please have a seat, thank you. Your Excellency Amina Gurib Fakim, former President of Mauritius, Your Excellency Mrs. Anne Marie Davis, First Lady of Bahamas, Right Honourable Patricia Scotland, Commonwealth Secretary General, Honourable dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and warmest welcome in Kigali. We are pleased that despite a 2-year halt imposed by the COVID-19 pandemic, the 2022 Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, CHOGM is holding here in Kigali, Rwanda, under the theme, Delivering a Common Future, Connecting, Innovating, Transforming. Comprising 4 forums, today we launch one of the most anticipated, the 2022 Commonwealth Women's Forum. I hope you share my high spirits. This year's theme, Delivering a Common Future, Transforming for Gender Equality, affords us the opportunity to focus on 4 imperatives to move the needle for equitable development, namely women in leadership, women's economic empowerment, gender and climate change, and ending violence against women. As if the challenges of women were not hard enough, the world today is faced with a multitude of crises which only serve to further widen the gender gap and deepen the economic divide, from the effect of COVID-19 to the impact of Russia-Ukraine war, including inflation, understandably the hike of basic food and energy prices, disruption of trade, and the rising cost of debt, among others. From the disproportionate impact of climate change on women and men in the global south to the predominantly female online bullying, sexual exploitation, and violence across the world, it seems that obstacles to equality have multiplied, mutated, and evolved. Ladies and gentlemen, the last Commonwealth Women's Forum held in London in 2018, in its stock-taking, acknowledged that despite concerted effort to transform the subordinate position of women and girls in society, and notwithstanding progress made thus far towards gender equality, the advancement of women and girls was slow. The forum called for greater investment to address gender inequalities in all areas of social, civic, and economic life, including in efforts to mitigate the adverse effects of climate change. This is a common thread in almost all global assessment on progress towards achieving gender equality. With less than a decade to go to achieve the SDGs 5, the urgency is palpable, particularly on SDG 5. The Women's Forum is happening at the crossroads of critical economic and social change, where the young woman, particularly in tech and innovation, may just be that game changer that is needed, provided that the nurturing environment, resources, and support is available. The statistic of gender inequality, which will be repeated during this forum, may be uncomfortable to hear, but they serve to highlight the importance of immediate action. After all, there is nothing pleasant about knowing that half of women across the world have experienced or know a woman who has experienced gender-based violence. There is nothing tolerable about the fact that, as we speak, 3/4 of 1 billion female children are married, and this is against their will. For us, we all know, ladies and gentlemen, children cannot consent to marriage. The draft 2020-2030 Declaration of Gender Equality, to be scripted over the next 2 days, must mobilize CHOGM and the Women's Forum for decisive action. It must not tiptoe around the gender equality emergency, but dare to seek new and bold pathways to women's political, economic, and social empowerment, fully cognizant of the changing world and times where innovation, technology, climate change, and geopolitical dynamics are changing the global development platform. It must defend with gusto the need for heavy investment in political will, advocacy, financial resources, partnerships, capacity and skill to attain the objective of gender equality, and the full empowerment of women and girls by 2030. The term global reset resonates with me. How can we reset the button on women's leadership, agency, engagement, and empowerment? For one, women's dialogues must be in the mainstream of key decision-making structures and processes, and align with other important development issues, such as those currently ongoing in the other Commonwealth forums, and that is youth, civic, and business. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2022 Kigali CHOGM Women's Forum does not just occur in a country that consistently pushes for the emergence of and recognition of women in leadership. It occurs in a country where rape was used barely 3 decades ago as a weapon of war. Today, Rwanda is ranked by the World Economic Forum as the 7th best performing nation in the world in closing the gender gap. Allow me, esteemed Commonwealth friends, to take you for just a minute down memory lane. The pathway of Rwanda's post-genocide reconstruction was littered with the pain of fragmented families and wounded, traumatized women. Our leaders and liberators of the time had to address the crisis at hand while devising a long-term gender-sensitive strategy to healing that centered around the wellness, prosperity, and empowerment of girls, women, and entire families. Rwanda considers peace and security a condition sine qua non for the attainment of sustainable development. The role of women and girls must shift from victims of conflict to frontline defenders of lasting peace within and between nations. The role played by women in peace building has been the cornerstone of Rwanda's development. We too can adapt our strategies for accelerated progress, our service provision, our collaboration frameworks, our militancy and advocacy, our education and research, and every tool in the arsenal which we combat gender inequality in order to transform for better the landscape in which we exist. Distinguished guests, if not already, I trust that this Commonwealth Women's Forum will make you as confident in saying, yes, we will ensure that there are more women in leadership positions. Yes, we will achieve women's economic empowerment. Yes, we will do our part to mitigate the adverse effects of climate change, especially on women and girls. Yes, together we can, must, and will end the violence against women and girls. Distinguished guests, it's my hope that this forum, Women's Forum, goes down in memory as the catalyst of happening and deep lasting transformation for women and girls in Commonwealth countries and beyond. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Such powerful points there. And let me just re-emphasize. Yes, together we can, must, and will end gender violence against women and girls. Can we just give that a round of applause? So important. The statistics may be tough to hear, but we have to hear them. We must take decisive action. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. With that, we are coming to a break before we go into the opening plenary and many more sessions to come. I'm going to ask first that a series of photos will be taken, and so I request that the Secretary General, the First Lady, the Minister of Gender and Family Promotion in Rwanda, the former President of Mauritius, who is with us, thank you so much, First Ladies of Bahamas, the First Lady of Bahamas as well, if you would please be upstanding, and you will be led by the team to the area for the photo session. So can I just ask the teams who are coordinating the session to come and assist with taking our VIPs through. Thank you so much. Thank you. We can give them a round of applause as they exit. And a few key reminders, please do download the CHOGM app. I hope you've been sharing the points on social media, hashtag CHOGM2022 and hashtag CHOGM2022. The gala dinner is tonight from 6 p.m. at the tent, and you are all invited.